any approaching aircraft whatsoever. Let's try this one. So all the people on board, along with the flight attendants and the pilots, just vanished into thin air. Hi guys. Today we're eating cheesy nuggets. We have some crunchy veggies over here, and I have a story for you as well about a disappearance of a plane that later reappeared 37 years later. Can you believe it? It's a crazy story. Oh, look. All right. So, on July 2nd, 1955, a plane, Pan Air Flight 914, was making its way from New York to Miami. It was a sunny morning day, and they were planning to land in Miami at 9:55 a.m. There were 57 passengers on board with 4 crew members, so in total it was 61 people. The plane took off with no trouble when it was supposed to be landing already 3 hours later. It was nowhere to be seen, and the radars didn't show any approaching aircraft whatsoever, and there were no signals of this aircraft. In fact, not a single piece of the plane was ever found. 61 people on the plane who just vanished. No one knew what happened to them. So eventually the official statement was released that the plane crashed, taking all the lives on board, unfortunately, but no one could say what really happened to the flight until, of course, 37 years later. So on September 9th, 1992, in Caracas, Venezuela, Juan de la Carte is the air traffic controller's name. In the morning, he began his shift, and right away something weird happened in his radar while he was observing the planes. A new dot all of a sudden appeared in the radar. So according to the air traffic controller, the aircraft just appeared out of nowhere. So he told all the other people that was working with him that day, and they all started following the plane and the radar, and all of them could not believe their eyes, because at first the plane was looking just like an ordinary plane, but as it got closer they could kind of started seeing the plane. It was a very old looking plane. It was called DC-4 McDonnell Douglas. It was a passenger aircraft from a long time ago, 1930s, still with propellers. This is a really rare sight to see this kind of plane in 1992, of course. But the real confusion began when the pilot of the mysterious aircraft actually contacted the tower where the air traffic controller sat, and he asked in English, "Where are we?" The air traffic controller let the pilot except the people that was witnessing this. Do you think this story is true? Actually, a lot of people are saying it might be a myth, due to the fact that the same story appeared in a newspaper that was a satirical newspaper, like talking about fake stories that sound true. Appeared 1985, so that was 7 years before this actual story appeared in a real newspaper. The guy that was the air traffic controller, his name was the same in 1985 newspaper too. For some reason, there's no pictures of the air traffic controller who was following the plane, except the one picture that they have, and there's two different versions of that picture, from 1985 and from 1992. Some people are saying that it might be a conspiracy theory against like time travel, so it might be actually true.